Assalamu alaikum. This is Shoruk Mujumdar welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman reaches Malaysia on first foreign tour after assuming office to leave for China on June 23rd. Mass awareness necessary to protect youth from clutches of drug, as only law enforcement not enough. Common Social Welfare Minister. Proper planning and implementation can make aviation sector regional hub in South Asia, says Aviation Minister. Testimony held against 11 accused, including former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman in murder case of student time in Jatrabari during July uprising. Talks between US and Iran to end war permanently with mediation of Pakistan and Qatar begin in Switzerland. Those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman reached Malaysia on a two-day visit at the invitation of Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. The Prime Minister left Hazrat Shahidul International Airport by a flight of Biman Bangladesh Airlines at 2:45 p.m. He is accompanied by his spouse, Dr. Zubaida Rahman, LGRD Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir, Chief Whip, Cabinet Secretary, diplomats and high-ranking government officials saw off the Prime Minister at the airport. This is the first overseas visit by the Prime Minister since the government assumed office in February this year. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman is scheduled to leave for China from Malaysia on Monday afternoon. Stating that it is not possible to eliminate drugs solely through law enforcement, social welfare, women and children affairs Minister Professor Dr. A. Zatem Zahid Hussain said that public awareness must be created across society with the active involvement of young people in order to protect the youth from the scourge of drugs. He made the remarks today at a seminar titled Evidence-Based Prevention for Youth, held at the auditorium of Ahsanullah University of Science and Technology on the occasion of the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking 2026. The seminar was chaired by Dr. Muhammad Ashraful Haq, Vice-Chancellor of the University. Among other speakers included Muhammad Hassan Maruf, Director General of the Department of Narcotics Control, psychiatrist Professor Dr. M. A. Mohit Kamal, Dr. S. M. Khalilur Rahman, Vice President of Dhaka Asania Mission, and Professor Dr. Shamim Reza Chaudhuri, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University. The minister said that young people have played a vital role in every major change in the country since 1952. He added that it is the youth who have the power to bring about change. A workshop titled Civil Aviation Master Planning Overview was held in Dhaka with the aim of formulating a sustainable, well-planned and future-oriented development strategy for the civil aviation sector. The workshop was inaugurated in the morning at a hotel in the capital by Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister Afroza Khanum and State Minister M. Rashiduzzaman Millat. The workshop was chaired by Air Vice Marshal Muhammad Mustafa Mahmood Siddiq, Chairman of the Civil Aviation Authority of Bangladesh. The keynote paper was presented by Muhammad El Amiri, an expert from the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. Among those who spoke at the event were Famida Akhtar, Secretary of the Ministry of Civil Aviation and Tourism, and Air Commodore Abu Saeed Mahbub Khan, a member of the Civil Aviation Authority of Bangladesh. Civil Aviation and Tourism Minister Afroza Khanum said that proper planning and implementation could transform the country's aviation sector into a regional hub in South Asia. At the workshop, State Minister for Civil Aviation and Tourism M. Rashiduজ্জামান Millat said that professional human resources must be developed to ensure international standards and sustainable development in the country's aviation sector. Testimony was taken against 11 accused, including former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman, in the case of the murder of student Taim in Jatrabari during the July uprising. The testimony began in the morning at the International Crimes Tribunal 2. Investigation Officer Mohammad Alamgir gave his statement in the case today. Meanwhile, in Tribunal 1, Warrant Officer Imrul Qais testified against former Army Officer Ziaul Ahsan in the case of the disappearance and murder of more than 100 people during the regime of the fallen Awami League. In addition, the testimony of Anisul Haq and Salman F. Rahman on 5 charges, including aiding in the July uprising, curfew, and murder, was taken at the same tribunal. Tribunal 2 has ordered the submission of an investigation report against former DGFI Director General Sheikh Mamoon Khalid for the crime of disappearance and murder against humanity during the regime of the fallen Awami League by August 24. With taking a solemn oath to protect the motherland, preserve national interests, and safeguard the country's strategic maritime borders, a total of 61 new officers have been commissioned into the Bangladesh Navy, following summer presidential parade held at the Bangladesh Naval Academy in the city today. The newly commissioned officers belongs to the Midshipman 2023B and Direct Entry Officer 2026A batches. Chief of Naval Staff Admiral M. Nazmul Hassan was present as a chief guest and inspected the parade and took up the salute of the newly commissioned officers. In his speech, the Navy chief said that in the light of Made in Bangladesh policy, the shipyards, dockyards and CNRD run by the Navy are working to develop indigenous technology and build maritime platforms and infrastructure with their own capabilities. Chattogram City Corporation Mayor Dr. Shahdat Hussain, members of Parliament, senior officers of the Army, Navy and Air Force, vice-chancellors of various universities, senior government officials, local dignitaries and guardians of newly commissioned officers were present at the event. Now, international news. Technical-level talks between the United States and Iran begins in Switzerland today, aimed at reaching a permanent agreement to end the conflict. Leaders of the two countries, along with mediators Pakistan and Qatar, attends the meeting at the Bargenstock Resort. Iranian state media reports that Parliament Speaker and Chief Negotiator Mohammad Baghir Ghalibaf leads the Iranian delegation. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, senior security officials, central bank representatives and top oil sector officials are also expected to participate. The U.S. delegation led by Vice President J.D. Vance, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Field Marshal Asim Munir will lead a high-level delegation of the mediating country. Before leaving Washington for the talks, U.S. Vice President Vance said discussions would continue for the next 2 days. He expressed hope that Washington and Tehran would make progress on the Iranian nuclear program and a ceasefire in Lebanon. Vance said the situation is improving, albeit slowly, and expressed hope that both Israel and Lebanon would remain safe and secure. Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian held talks with Pakistan's Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi on the ongoing ceasefire process and strengthening bilateral relations. Iranian national media reports that both sides emphasized political and diplomatic efforts to resolve the crisis. Israel carried out a series of airstrikes in southern and eastern Lebanon until Saturday afternoon. The Israeli military and the IDF claimed they had carried out the operation targeting Hezbollah, alleging that the Iran-backed armed group had violated the agreement by attacking Israeli soldiers a day after a ceasefire. According to Lebanese media and emergency services, at least 27 people were killed and 26 wounded in the attacks. The IDF said it was committed to adhering to the ceasefire agreement in accordance with the instructions of the political leadership. A military official said that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Israel Katz had ordered the IDF to cease fire in Lebanon. Israel's Channel 12 News reported that the directive was issued after coordination between the political leadership and the United States. In a statement later sent to reporters by the Prime Minister's office, a senior official said Netanyahu had insisted that Israel would remain in southern Lebanon as long as it needed to protect its northern border. The statement said the IDF had hit 300 targets in response to Hezbollah attacks over the past 2 days, killing nearly 100 people. Israeli officials warned that if Hezbollah attacks again, it would respond more forcefully. The IDF did not immediately report any casualties in the Hezbollah attack.